Good afternoon, evening, whenever you see this, feel this, breathe this, do this, my loves. For those of you that are new to my page or my channel, or if this is your first time tuning into the Love Circle podcast, hi, welcome. My name is Cymphony Thompson, and I am a self-care coach on a mission to heal the world through holistic self-care practices. And today is Thoughtful Tuesday. And you know, we mind our thoughts on Tuesdays. We reflect on what we've been thinking about, what we've been telling ourselves, the deposits that we have been making over the days, weeks, months, years. And while I was reflecting, I was at work and I work at a gardening center, a nursery, and for those of you that have been following me for a while, I'm a teacher, of course, but I decided to give myself a break after, my husband and I, we moved to a new city, and even though it's not that far from Savannah, it's still a different atmosphere for me. It's a whole new world, literally. So the first teaching job that I got, it wasn't really it was a lot of prejudice and racism and all of this stuff. So I just was like, you know what, maybe that's God's way of telling me that I need to step back from teaching. Maybe that's my go ahead to take a break. You've learned all you needed to learn. You've met the people, you've made the impact that you needed to make for this temporary moment. Let's move on to something else. Not necessarily forgetting teaching altogether, but just giving it a break and learning to teach in a different way. So I was supposed to be doing an event for this gardening center that I researched and I fell in love with. And when I came in, I met the owner, and after it didn't work out with the school, she ended up needing employees. And I was like, well, I have the free time. If you're interested, I wouldn't mind working. And I have been in love ever since. Now, the thought-provoking part of all of this is never in a million years did I see Cymphony working outside sweating. Every job I've ever had has been inside. I've done a whole lot of work. I've worked at a police department. I've taught. I've been administrative assistant. I even worked in fast food for a little while. I worked at semi-fine dining. So, never did I ever think that Cymphony would be outside working. Never. But it's amazing. And what was thought-provoking about the whole thing is I've always said that I wanted a farm. And I've always said that I wanted a garden. But I also am the same person that does not like to sweat. I don't like to get dirty. And I don't like bugs. Arachnids, amphibians, none of that. I don't want to deal with none of that. Reptiles, hell no. So it was kind of how are you going to want this, but you don't even really deal with nature like that? I started getting plants and stuff to help me maintain my self-care and to keep a connection with Mother Nature, but I didn't like to go outside and get dirty. And it made me think, how can you say you want a farm and you want a garden? Who's gonna maintain it? Who's gonna do the upkeep? My husband, he does landscaping, but I'm not expecting him to do all of it, especially if we got a couple of acres of land and we got a big ass farm on top of the 3-4 gardens that I want at the house. He's not going to maintain all of that stuff by himself. So I found it funny that I said for years that I would never work outside, and God placed me in this position to literally be doing exactly what I want to do. Like, I get to work and I speak to my coworkers, of course, but then I go outside and I talk to all the plants and I clean them up, and it's just, I don't know how to verbalize the feeling of gratitude, the I don't even know how to say what I want to say. Like, I feel so rewarded when I go to work and I've done something for the earth. Like, nothing is more rewarding than that. All of the jobs that I've ever had, like, I've made buku money. Like, I ain't made no super substantial amount of money yet, but I've made pretty good amounts of money, brought in pretty good, decent paychecks from jobs. And this has to be my lowest paying job since I started working, but it's the most fulfilling job that I've ever had. It's the most rewarding job that I've ever had. I learned so much about nature, about myself, about other people, about life, traveling, business, finances. Like, I'm literally getting paid to learn. I'm getting paid to be a student. It's like, I think about all of the years of going to school and getting my biology degree, and the year that I spent trying to get my master's before I decided to stop trying to get my master's, and how much money I had to put out, and the amount of money that I was putting out in comparison to the knowledge that I was gaining, like the substantial knowledge that I was gaining, it's unmatchable. Like, it's unmatched. But here, I'm getting paid to literally learn. And it's substance. It's substantial stuff that I'm learning about being a person, just being a being in this world, learning how to interact with other people, learning that sometimes people just want to talk, which is something that I kind of understood before, because I've always been a person where random people just told me their whole life story. So that's not really something that's abnormal to me, but really understanding that when you meet somebody, it's for a reason. God places you in certain places. God allows you to meet certain people for a reason. And I just can't be any more thankful than, of course I can be more thankful, but I can't verbalize my gratitude. I just don't, I don't know. Like, every day I go to work, and even if it's the smallest thing, if I tell somebody some things that I've experienced at work, they probably think that it's normal, but I find so much value and so much appreciation in those little things. And I find even more value in those big things and the medium things. Like, I'm so grateful for all aspects of the learning experience that the learning journey that I'm on lately. I hope that you all are on the same learning and healing and loving journey that I am. I hope that today, on this Thoughtful Tuesday, while you mind your thoughts, you're reminded of the small things. Like, I call them little blessings or small blessings. What are those small blessings? What are those little blessings that have impacted you in ways that you never thought Like, sometimes you have that big vision of the things that are going to impact you, the things that are going to make you feel like emotional or excited in life. What are those small blessings that just adds an extra flicker to that light that you have, that light in your heart, that passion that you have? Please share them with me, share them with somebody else. I hope by the time that you heard this, you have had your coffee, your water, you have drunk your tea. I hope that you have been out in nature. I hope that you have eaten something good, something filling. I hope that you've loved on somebody else. I hope that you have loved on yourself so much today. This has been another dope episode of the Love Circle podcast with your favorite host, Cymphony Thompson. I hope you all have a dope and amazing day. And as always, fill your cup before you fill anybody else's. I love you.